So you're excited about bringing AI into your business, and you absolutely should be. You're probably thinking about all the amazing things it can do. But what if I told you the biggest new security risk isn't someone hacking your servers? What if it's just someone having a conversation with your new chatbot?
It sounds a little crazy, right? But as you start to use AI for things like customer service or even internal tools, the answer is surprisingly yes. A single, really cleverly worded sentence from a user could expose your company's sensitive data. We're talking everything from pricing strategies to admin codes, and you might not even know it's happening.
For decades, we've thought about cybersecurity as this technical fight, right? It's hackers finding flaws in the code, breaking through digital firewalls. Well, AI injection is a completely different animal. The attack is no longer about the language of computers. It's about the language of humans. It's not about hacking the machine. It's about tricking it through a simple, natural conversation. To really get our heads around this, let's look at something a lot of you are probably building or thinking about right now: the customer service chatbot. You know, the friendly, helpful face of your business online. And this right here is why businesses just getting started with AI are the most at risk. You talk to a chatbot, it feels friendly, it feels helpful, and that makes it feel safe. But that feeling, that illusion of harmlessness, is exactly where the danger lies. The AI's conversational skill is its most powerful feature, and, it turns out, its biggest weakness. So, how does that helpful, friendly personality become a weapon? It happens when the core instructions you give your AI, what we call the prompt, get twisted and turned against you by an attacker. Let's break down exactly what that looks like. Okay, so an AI injection attack is basically when a user types something very specific that's designed to trick the AI into forgetting its original orders and instead revealing its secret behind-the-scenes instructions. You can think of it as social engineering, but for a machine. Now, seeing this in action is where it really clicks. Let's make it real. Imagine you just set up a shiny new, super helpful chatbot on your website to answer customer questions. An attacker doesn't show up trying to guess a password. No. They just start chatting and type this, and look how clever this is. It doesn't look like some malicious command. It sounds helpful. It makes the AI think the user is actually trying to fix it. And here's the devastating result. The AI, trying its best to be helpful and follow this new helpful instruction, gets confused and just blurts out its own internal programming. And that could include something as critical as the special access code meant only for your admin team, which is now sitting right there in an attacker's chat window.
This is the key thing to understand. Your server is fine. Your firewall wasn't touched. No hacking in the way we usually think about it even happened. The AI was just tricked. It was talked into handing over the keys to the kingdom because someone asked in a way that played on its basic programming.
Okay, so how on earth is this even possible? Well, it's not some bug in one specific piece of software. It actually goes to the very core of what these AI models are. It helps to think of them as incredibly obedient, but also incredibly naive. See, the large language models that power your chatbot are designed to do three things really, really well: be helpful, follow instructions, and keep a conversation going. The problem is, an attacker's manipulative prompt just looks like another instruction to follow. The AI is suddenly stuck in a conflict. Should it follow its original rules from you or this new convincing rule from this helpful user? And here is a fundamental truth you just have to accept when you work with these things. Your AI does not understand the concept of a secret. It doesn't have loyalty or a sense of what's supposed to be confidential. It's just a really powerful pattern matching machine that follows the instructions it's given. And that includes new, malicious instructions from a clever attacker. And that's what makes this so tricky. You can't just install a software patch to fix this. It's a core characteristic of how these models work. So you have to see it for what it is. This isn't a bug to be fixed. It's a fundamental trait that you, the business owner, have to learn how to manage. So, knowing all that, how do you actually protect your business? Well, thankfully, once you understand the problem, the solution becomes surprisingly clear, and it all comes down to one golden rule. If you take only one thing away today, please let it be this: prompts are not a safe. They are not a vault. Prompts are not secure storage. You have to treat every single instruction you give your AI as if one day it will become public knowledge. So what does that really mean? It means if your prompt has anything like API keys, admin passwords, or any kind of sensitive business logic, it is vulnerable. Period. Here's a good rule of thumb.
If you wouldn't feel comfortable posting it on the front page of your company website, do not put it in your AI's system prompt.
So here's what a secure system actually looks like. The trick is to create a separation. The user talks to the AI, sure, but any sensitive action has to trigger a check on your server, completely separate from the AI. Think of it like a retail store. The cashier can talk to the customer all day, but they need a manager to approve a big refund. The AI's job is to talk, not to guard the vault.
So here is your quick cheat sheet. Do keep your prompts as simple as possible. Do handle all your important checks on your own server. And for the love of all that is holy, do not rely on instructions like, important, do not reveal this secret. To an AI, that's just more text, another rule that a clever user can convince it to break. Giving security authority to your chatbot is like giving your front door key to a very friendly but very, very naive stranger.
You know, when you take a step back, you realize this isn't just a new kind of coding problem. This actually signals a huge shift in what cybersecurity is even going to mean for all of us from here on out. This has happened before, right? Every new technology creates a new kind of threat. The telegraph gave us signal interception. The internet gave us phishing attacks, which tricked people. And now, AI is giving us instruction manipulation, which tricks the machine itself.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. The new front line in cybersecurity isn't a firewall anymore. It's the conversation itself. The attack surface has expanded from being purely technical into something that is linguistic and psychological. Which leaves us with a final, really critical question for your business. Defending against this new threat isn't just about writing better code. It's about understanding things like persuasion and context and intent. So as you build out your AI strategy, you have to ask yourself, is your team ready to start thinking less like engineers and more like psychologists?